President Volodymyr Zelensky stresses assistance from Ukraine's allies is urgently needed to combat Russian forces. It comes as Russia closes in on Pokrovsk, claiming to have captured another village nearby.
Всі досягнуті домовленості мають бути реалізовані максимально швидко. Те, що потрібно у вересні, має бути поставлено у наші війська саме у вересні.
Pokrovsk is an important logistical hub for Ukrainian forces in the Donetsk region. Local authorities are urging people to evacuate, but still more than a third remain in the city.
Загостренням бойової ситуації наголошуємо, що проводиться обов'язкова евакуація населення.
Ситуация, что хуже и хуже. Свет пропал, вода, вопрос.
Russia claims they are still capturing territory on the road towards Pokrovsk. Germany is toughening its border controls by introducing temporary checks at all of its borders. German Interior Minister Nancy Faeser says it is an attempt to reduce irregular migration.
Bis wir mit dem neuen gemeinsamen europäischen Asylsystem zu einem starken Schutz der EU-Außengrenzen kommen, müssen wir an unseren nationalen Grenzen noch stärker kontrollieren. Diese Kontrollen ermöglichen auch effektive Zurückweisung.
Temporary border controls will be set up at the land borders with France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Denmark for a period of 6 months. The same measures are already in place on the borders with Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, and Switzerland. Europe's Schengen area allows for free travel between member countries. However, member states are allowed to introduce border checks if they feel there is a threat to internal security. Faeser adds that the government has already notified the European Union of the intended controls.
Former Italian Prime Minister and President of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, presented his report on the future of European competitiveness on Monday. The report has 170 proposals to increase productivity, enhance security and reduce dependencies while keeping the European social model intact. Draghi's initiative comes at a crucial moment for the future of Europe. The EU is losing ground as each passing year it becomes less able to compete with China and the United States in global trade arena.
It's going to be a slow agony. We're becoming, and think about the fact population is declining, and by 2040, 2 million workers a year will disappear from the labor market. So we're going to be a society that basically shrinks.
Draghi calls for a minimum of 750 to 800 billion euro additional investment per year. This means increasing the EU's investment share to around 27% of EU gross domestic product. To achieve this goal, the European Union would have to issue common debt instruments one more time, as it was done for the recovery of post-pandemic known as the Plan Next Generation EU, which was also a 800 billion euro model.
And the big question is there need of safe common assets? Yes, the answer is yes.
While the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen seems open to the idea, some EU governments are likely to oppose it, making it very difficult to achieve. Overall, the suggested amount is twice the size of what Europe spent after the Second World War to rebuild.
I think it's not very likely at the moment. We do not have a German coalition government that is in the position to make any progress or any moves in that direction. They are politically very divided, and the opposition is also against it. And we do not have a clear French political landscape that would help to build trust. So at the end of the day, joint borrowing really only works when you have more trust among member states, which we don't.
Draghi's report, which helps defining tasks for the next commissioners, also encourages boosting the European defense industry, research in innovative technologies, and decarbonization. According to Draghi, without action, Europe will have to either compromise its welfare, or its environment, or its freedom.
Pope Francis has called for the protection of young people during his visit to Timor-Leste. By doing so, he indirectly acknowledged the abuse scandal involving independence hero Bishop Carlos Jimenez Bello.
Y no olvidemos a tantos niños y adolescentes heridos en su dignidad. Este fenómeno está aflorando en todo el mundo. Todos estamos llamados a actuar como responsabilidad para prevenir todo tipo de abuso y garantizar un crecimiento sereno a nuestros jóvenes.
Timor-Leste is the most Catholic country outside of the Vatican. Its residents were eager to welcome the first pope to visit them as an independent nation. This is the Pope's third stop on his 12-day Southeast Asia and Oceania tour, having previously visited Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. After Timor-Leste, the Pope will visit Singapore before returning to Rome on the 13th of September.
The EU's diplomatic service has strongly condemned Russia's municipal elections held in occupied Crimean territory, stating the vote violates international law, the UN Charter and Ukraine's sovereignty. The EU does not recognise these so-called elections or their results in Crimea, the European Union External Action Service said in a statement on Monday. They are null and void and cannot produce any legal effects whatsoever. 83 elections spanning regional to municipal were held throughout Russia from September 6th to 9th. Areas included the Ukrainian-controlled region of Kursk in Russia, which saw the country's third highest percentage of voter turnout. The results, strongly expected to tilt towards Moscow-approved candidates, are slated to roll in by the end of September.
The issue of how to grant citizenship to immigrants' children born in Italy has long been at the centre of the political debate. Italy's Deputy Prime Minister and leader of Forza Italia, Antonio Tajani, has recently demanded a review of the current law, which makes the process hard to achieve. He has backed the introduction of the so-called Ius Scholae and the possibility to grant citizenship to those who complete 10 years of compulsory education in Italy. While remaining a close ally of Meloni, Forza Italia's move has not been welcomed by the party's coalition partners. Amin was born in Somalia and arrived in Italy when he was 4 years old. After living and studying in the country for over 30 years, he's not considered an Italian citizen. Today, he's one of the promoters of the reform proposal.
Avendo lavorato sempre in regola, pagando le tasse da sempre, mi ritrovo a essere straniero a casa mia fondamentalmente, perché poi, come dico spesso, dell'Africa a me mi è rimasto il colore, perché non sono mai sceso giù in Somalia. Alla fine è come se ti tagliassero una gamba, non so come dire, cioè sei limitato in tutto, cioè, poi fondamentalmente essere italiani è un qualcosa di, no, che ti senti dentro, di cui sei orgoglioso, fiero. Cioè io ho fatto per anni karate, era una promessa del karate, ma non potevo partecipare a livello nazionale come i miei compagni.
For years, Save the Children has carried out groundwork to help integrate children born in Italy to foreign parents.
Noi in Italia abbiamo una legge vecchia e superata che ha più di 30 anni, che era pensata per un paese di emigranti. Cioè questa è una legge che va a tutelare soprattutto i figli e i nipoti dei tanti italiani che andavano a vivere per lavoro all'estero. Il paese in questi anni è profondamente cambiato, quindi è cambiato nei fatti, è cambiato nelle scuole, è cambiato nelle comunità, bisogna che la legge si aggiorni.
Salvini's League Party is against the reform.
È scritto nel programma del centrodestra, è scritto nell'agenda del governo, 2 partiti su 3 dicono e ricordano a Forza Italia che questo non è stato un tema condiviso. Possiamo parlarne, ne parliamo da un mese, ne parliamo da quest'estate, però io dubito che sarà un tema inserito nell'agenda parlamentare. Dalle forze di opposizione certamente, non penso dai partiti che compongono la maggioranza di questo governo, a meno che qualcuno non si voglia porre al di fuori del programma elettorale per cui gli italiani ci hanno votato.
Antonio Tajani and his party are determined to take the proposal to Parliament. Giorgio Orlandi for Euronews in Rome.
Israeli sports fans braved the rain to watch a Nations League football match between Israel and Italy in Budapest on Monday. While many attendees spoke with excitement about the game, others called for an end to the brutal Israel-Hamas war.
We want a peace. We are the Jewish, we don't like a war, fight and shoot. We want to live in our country and together.
I know one of the players of the national team and his friend died in the war. So it affects on everyone because Israel is a small country and we're all together and we all suffer together. But we hope that we'll have something to for it to joy or something that to be happy about. So this is the soccer, this is football.
This match we must watch. El Israel, okay?
The son of my sister. In the 7th of October is supposed to be in Gaza, in the same place that the terrorists came and killed all the soldiers in the base. And he replaced 2 days before the war, he replaced with his friend the days, because it was holiday. So a lot of his friends died, killed in this base in the army.
Some European cities, like Brussels, have refused to host Nations League matches with Israel due to security concerns. Israel's male and female national football teams have played in Hungary since the October 7th attack.